All right, so you sent over some information on zero, and I gotta say, it really got me thinking, like,
Yeah,
zero. You know, it's fascinating. Like, how can nothing
right.
be so important to everything?
Yeah, it's really interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the paradox of zero.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it, like
Right.
we see it as like this absence of value,
Right.
but it really does kind of underpin so much of what we understand about the universe.
Well, and the thing that I thought was interesting
Yeah.
was that, like, a lot of ancient civilizations, like, you know, the Egyptians,
Yeah.
the Greeks,
Yeah.
the Romans,
Yeah.
they didn't even use zero.
Oh, I know.
How did they get anything done?
It's wild, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it, they did some pretty incredible things.
Yeah.
I mean, complex architecture, philosophical systems,
Yeah.
advancements in mathematics,
Mm-hmm.
but all without the concept of zero as we know it. And it's like their systems, they relied so heavily on addition and visual representation.
I mean, can you imagine
Yeah.
trying to do long division with only Roman numerals?
Oh my God, it would be
A nightmare.
a complete nightmare.
Yeah.
It'd be so messy.
It's like trying to build a computer
Yeah.
with an abacus.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's mind-boggling, like,
Yeah.
what they accomplished.
Yeah.
But you can totally see how the lack of a zero held them back.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And that's where I think the brilliance of Indian mathematicians really comes in.
Yeah.
You know, around 600 CE,
Okay.
Brahmagupta,
Right.
he formalized the concept of zero.
Yeah.
Not just as like an idea,
Yeah.
but as a placeholder
Yeah.
within the number system.
Uh-huh.
And that was revolutionary.
Oh, yeah.
Think about it. Like,
Okay.
without zero,
Yeah.
how would you write 101?
Oh, God, yeah.
It would just be a jumble of symbols.
It would be a mess.
It would be a mess.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, the difference between 4 and 40?
Exactly.
Yeah.
100 and 1,000.
Right.
It suddenly becomes crystal clear.
Right.
And it's this clarity that allowed for like the development of more complex mathematical concepts like algebra and calculus.
Yeah.
I mean, Brahmagupta's introduction of zero was like,
It's huge.
it was huge.
Yeah.
It was a watershed moment. You
Yeah.
know, it pushed mathematics to a whole new level.
And even something as basic as telling time.
Uh-huh.
Like, the source mentions how crucial zero is for that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, without zero,
Yeah.
we wouldn't have midnight. You know, that pivotal point where
Right.
one day ends and
Yeah.
another begins.
Right.
It's zero that anchors our entire system
Yeah.
of measuring time,
Right.
allowing us to track seconds, minutes, hours with precision.
Yeah. It's like a reset button
Yeah,
for time itself.
exactly.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about it that way.
And this idea of zero as like a starting point,
Yeah.
it extends to other areas as well. You know,
Everything.
the Curious Kids Chronicles
Yeah.
also touches on its significance
Uh-huh.
in the world of computers.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that whole ones and zeros thing.
Yeah,
Binary code.
yeah.
I've always found that kind of mysterious.
Well, it might seem complex,
Yeah.
but the principle is actually quite elegant.
Okay.
You know, binary code uses just 2 digits,
Yeah.
1 and 0,
Yeah.
to represent information.
Right.
And these combinations of ones and zeros, they're
Yeah.
like a digital alphabet,
I see.
forming instructions that power our computers' smartphones,
Wow.
the entire digital landscape.
So every time I open an app
Yeah,
or browse the internet,
pretty much.
it's all thanks to zero.
Yeah.
That's amazing how something that represents nothing could be the driving force behind so much technology.
It really does highlight the power of simplicity, doesn't it?
It does.
By reducing information to its most basic form, the presence or absence of a signal
Right.
represented by 1 or 0,
Right.
we've unlocked a world of possibilities.
And the source doesn't stop there.
Yep.
It even connects zero to complex scientific concepts like absolute zero and the
Yeah.
Big Bang. That's where things get really interesting.
That is where things get really interesting.
Okay. Yes.
Think about a sports team
Yeah.
starting a game.
Uh-huh.
Their score is 0 before they earn any points.
Right.
It's their baseline, their starting point.
Right.
Similarly, the universe might have had its own 0 moment.
Okay.
You know, absolute 0, as mentioned in the source,
Yeah.
represents the coldest possible temperature
Right.
where all molecular motion ceases.
So everything just
Theoretically, yes.
Thought.
Stops.
Wow.
It's a state of minimal energy,
Okay.
and it's even thought to play a role in understanding black holes.
Wow.
You know, these regions of space-time where gravity is so intense that nothing, not even light, can escape.
Wow.
And the Big Bang Theory, our current model of the universe's beginning, it posits that everything originated from this incredibly hot, dense state, often described as a singularity, essentially a point of zero volume and infinite density.
So zero, in a way, is like the ultimate starting point.
Yeah.
The origin of everything.
It's a fascinating concept, isn't it?
It is.
These scientific ideas are still being explored, but zero is undoubtedly crucial to our understanding of the vastness and complexity of the universe.
Okay.
And it's not just about science and technology either.
Oh, right.
The source mentions a philosophical debate around whether zero is truly a number at all.
That's right.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If zero represents nothing, can it be considered a number in the same way as 1, 2, or 3?
It does. It really makes you think.
It's a surprisingly lively debate.
Really?
Yeah, the source even jokes about it.
Does it?
Yeah, it asks how we can count zero as nothing if it's not a number.
Oh, wow.
You know?
Yeah.
It really makes you think about how we define numbers and their relationship to abstract concepts.
It's like zero's playing a cosmic game of hide and seek, simultaneously representing both nothing and everything.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
It's this duality that makes zero so intriguing.
It really is.
Yeah. It really does.
Yeah.
It seems like this duality pops up everywhere we look. You know, we've talked about zero in math, technology, even the vastness of the universe.
Right.
But what about its role in our everyday lives?
You're right.
Yeah.
It's so ingrained in our experience that we hardly even notice it.
It really is.
The source mentioned sports, like a team starting with a score of 0.
Right.
But think about it, like measuring our height or weight.
Yeah.
We begin at 0 on the ruler or the scale.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
0 serves as a baseline, a starting point for measurement in countless aspects of our lives.
Right.
It helps us quantify and understand the world around us. And it's not just in physical measurements either.
I was just thinking about that. Even in music.
Oh, yeah.
There's the concept of a rest.
Yeah.
A moment of silence.
Right.
And how is that silence represented in a musical score?
I know, right?
With a 0.
Exactly. It highlights how 0 isn't just about the presence of something, but also the absence of something.
Right.
And that absence can be just as meaningful in a musical score. The rests are crucial.
Yeah, they are.
They create rhythm and flow, shaping the overall impact of the piece.
It's like 0 is the yin to everything else's yang.
I like that.
You know, that essential counterbalance that brings harmony to the world.
I like that.
And it's not just music either.
Right.
We use 0 in everyday language.
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
We do.
Think about phrases like zero tolerance or having 0 doubts.
Right.
Like you add 0 and suddenly those statements are absolute.
Those are great examples.
Right.
Yeah. By adding 0, we emphasize the absoluteness of those statements.
Yes.
There's no room for ambiguity.
Exactly.
No space for compromise.
Right.
0, in a way, amplifies the meaning of the words around it.
Plus 0 is a linguistic power-up.
Yeah.
You know, it gives words an extra punch.
Yeah, it does.
But as we've been discussing this, I keep coming back to that central question.
Yeah.
If 0 represents nothing,
right,
how can it simultaneously be the foundation for so much?
I know.
It feels like a real paradox.
It is a paradox.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes 0 so endlessly fascinating.
It is.
You know, it forces us to rethink our assumptions about reality.
Yeah.
About the relationship between something and nothing.
Yeah.
You know, it challenges us to consider that even in emptiness, there lies potential, a seed of possibility.
That's beautifully put.
Thanks.
It's like 0 is a seed itself, small and seemingly insignificant.
Right.
But containing within it the blueprint for an entire forest.
I love that analogy.
Yeah?
And it brings us back to the Curious Kids Chronicles and how they managed to make this complex concept accessible and engaging.
Yeah.
You know, by connecting 0 to things kids experience every day, time, computer, sports.
Yeah.
They've illustrated just how deeply intertwined zero is with our lives.
And it reminds us that even something as seemingly simple as zero can spark a lifetime of curiosity and exploration.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a testament to the power of asking questions, challenging assumptions, and continually seeking a deeper understanding of the world around us.
Well, I think we've done a pretty good job of navigating the surprisingly intricate world of zero in this deep dive.
It has been fun.
It has been.
Yeah.
I hope our listener has a newfound appreciation for this often overlooked but truly essential concept.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
And perhaps they'll start to notice zero's presence or absence in unexpected places, leading to new insights and discoveries of their own.
That's a great final thought.
Thanks.
So until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning.
Keep diving deep.
And keep diving deep.
Into the wonders of knowledge.
You know, as we've been talking, I keep thinking about that quote. Sometimes you need to take a step back to move forward.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like zero embodies that idea perfectly.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's a great connection.
Yeah.
Zero really does act as that step back, you know?
Right.
That pause that lets us see the bigger picture.
Right.
It provides context, establishes boundaries.
And allows us to measure and quantify the world around us.
It's almost like zero gives us a framework for understanding everything else.
Agree.
Like without it, everything would just kind of blur together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Zero brings clarity and structure.
Yeah.
And as we've seen, its influence extends far beyond mathematics.
Right.
It's woven into science technology.
Right.
Even our everyday language. It's truly a fundamental concept.
And yet it's so easy to overlook.
I know.
Maybe because it represents nothing.
Yeah.
We tend to dismiss its importance.
Right.
But as we've explored today, zero is anything but insignificant.
It's a reminder that sometimes the most profound discoveries come from exploring the seemingly empty spaces.
Yeah.
The places where we least expect to find meaning.
That's a powerful thought.
Yeah.
And it ties back to that paradox we were discussing. How can nothing be so essential to everything? It's a question that has intrigued philosophers and mathematicians for centuries.
I bet.
It challenges us to consider the very nature of reality.
Right.
The interplay between being and non-being.
And I remember the Curious Kids Chronicles included a little joke about this.
Did it?
Yeah, why was Zero so happy?
Oh, I remember that one.
Because he finally figured out he wasn't nothing. He was everything.
It's a funny way to illustrate a profound concept.
It is.
Yeah, zero might represent absence, but it's also the wellspring of potential.
Right.
The seed of creation.
It's mind-blowing to think about.
I know.
How something that symbolizes emptiness can be so full of possibility.
And that's the beauty of it, isn't it?
It is.
Zero encourages us to question, to explore, to look beyond the surface, and discover the hidden depths in even the simplest of concepts.
Well, I think we've successfully navigated the fascinating and surprisingly deep world of zero.
We did it.
In this deep dive.
We did.
I hope our listener has come away with a new appreciation for this often overlooked but truly remarkable concept.
Me too.
And maybe, just maybe, they'll start to see zero differently.
I hope so.
Not just as an empty space,
right,
but as a catalyst for discovery. And a reminder that sometimes the most profound insights come from embracing the power of nothing.
That's a wonderful thought to leave everyone with.
It is. Until next time.
Yeah.
Keep exploring, keep questioning.
Keep diving deep.
And keep diving deep.